Hey, hi everyone. Um, my name is Carla Heatherly and presenting to you today on websites and SEO. Thanks to everyone for joining us on this Saturday for the HomeGauge Together 2021 conference. In yesterday's web presentation, we gave a pretty good overview on the nuts and bolts of websites and search engine optimization, or SEO. So today we'll revisit some of those slides in this session as a refresher, and also to help bring people up to speed who might have missed yesterday's presentation. Don't worry, there's also lots and lots of new information as we go a little deeper into web and SEO. First, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm an Asheville, North Carolina native, have a bachelor's degree in web development and design. I've worked in the web industry for almost 16 years and started building sites and writing content for HomeGauge in 2015. Russell, one of the original founders of HomeGauge, approached me in early 2017 about joining the HomeGauge crew full-time and building out the SEO program. So I did, and here we are. In order to be successful and build your online presence, you must get the Google love. You get the Google love by having a great website that helps the user. So I'll review the basics first, and then we'll go a little deeper into all things web and Google. Why do you need a website for your home inspection business? Because you absolutely do. 90% of users are going to look online first when searching for goods or services. So you have to have a website in today's market to compete and to build a successful business. Most potential customers will check out your website first, so you only have that one chance to make a great digital first impression. Do I need a website if I'm a service-based business? 100% yes, you do. You must be online to build your business and gain customers. 73% of customers will judge whether you're credible based on your website. Compared to a brick and mortar storefront, the cost for a website is far less than outfitting an entire office with furniture, fixtures, signage, plus rent. The monthly fee for a hosted website with SEO services is less than all of that. You'll recover the cost of 1 month of hosting and SEO if you book just a single inspection each month. So you already have a website and it's doing fine. You think, but is it? We offer free website edits, and we also host over 1,000 websites. So we know that there are old sites out there and that you should probably consider updating them. Broken links, outdated design, websites that are slow to load will not only affect your conversions, but will also affect where you rank in the search results. Technology and user preferences are always changing. So something that was popular or worked a few years ago may no longer work online. In order to stay compliant with the latest browsers, design trends, and current best design practices, it's best to get a new website at least every 3 years. So the nuts and bolts of a website. Your domain name is your address. Try to choose a domain name that is memorable and descriptive, like AshevilleHomeInspection.com or HomeInspectionAtlanta.com, or your company name plus your primary service area. This will help with your SEO, and it will help people to find you. Your website is your house, which is built on the address, which is your domain name. The website is maintained and hosted by your web company or your property manager. That's what we would be. Your hosting fee covers your virtual rent and utilities. So you must renew your domain name. Don't ignore the emails that you receive from the registrar thinking that you're good to go because you have a site hosted with HomeGauge. Your renewal fee to own this name is separate from us, and we have no control over your domain name at all. If you let it lapse and don't renew it, your site will go down. Digital marketing and SEO work in conjunction with your other marketing efforts. It is not a replacement for them. Network in your community, invite agents to lunch, offer to do a presentation about home inspections for first-time home buyers. drop off snacks and business cards at the agency. When you sponsor or join a local organization, most have websites listing sponsors and will add your logo and a link back to your site. This is called a backlink, and backlinks are important for SEO and for establishing your domain authority. Most importantly though, think about what you can do for people and then do it. This isn't about what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. When you put people first, they will come to you first. So let's talk website design. A good website is clean and easy to navigate. The fewer the interface design elements, the better. Fewer pages and fewer clicks are the goal. The days of multiple pages nested into numerous navigation menus are long past. They simply require too much effort from the user. Since 65% of your users are viewing your site on a mobile device, it's critical that your site is responsive. This means that the design automatically adapts to all devices and screen sizes, ranging from phones to tablets to laptops to desktops. Google ranks quick loading websites higher than slower sites. It only takes 3 seconds for 53% of users to abandon a slow loading site. That's 3 seconds for half the people that are trying to access your site. They will leave if it hasn't loaded in 3 seconds. 3 seconds is also how long it takes a visitor to decide whether to stay on your site or to visit a competitor's. A dated site signals to a user that you don't care about first impressions or details or technology. As a home inspector, you certainly want them to think that you care about all of those. And finally, content is king. Google favors sites that add original content and give their users meaningful and relevant information. Okay, content is still king. So your website's content is the most important factor in how well it performs online. Google views any web page with fewer than 350 words as thin content. These pages may not register with the search engines or even ever rank in the search results. Duplicate content is when the exact same copy appears in multiple places online. This happens when someone has copied and pasted someone else's content and shared it as their own. We've seen this, we've stopped people from doing this a number of times. When they send us an article on Radon and we know that they copied and pasted that from somewhere, we're like, you really don't want to do that. It is really very bad to do. Google will find you and they will penalize your website for using duplicate content. White space and design should factor in for everyone on all devices. Huge blocks of text cause fatigue and increase your site's bounce rate. The bounce rate is when a visitor bounces from or leaves your site. And you want visitors to stay, not leave. Users want digestible blocks of text to process as they're scrolling down your page. Every successful website will have multiple calls to action or CTAs for visitors. A CTA is any click that puts them in contact with you, whether to schedule an inspection, call you, send an email, or submit a contact form. When someone clicks on a CTA, that is called a conversion. Uh-oh, sorry. Back up. Okay, more on content. Make sure that the information on your site is understandable for the non-specialist and avoid insider language. Explain complex or industry-specific terms. Spell out acronyms on the first reference, as I've done with CTAs, SEO. So anything, I try to make sure you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about. Research shows 90% of the information transferred to the human brain is visual. Every opportunity you have, use graphs, pictures, icons, and just overall good design to help streamline your site. The most important thing to remember about your website, it is for the user. It is not for you. So again, your website is not for you. Google will rank your site based on how well it addresses the needs of visitors. Google doesn't care about your 100 certifications. What Google cares about is how these certifications will give each visitor on your website the best experience and ultimately the best inspection service. Why should you invest time on social media? Well, because social media helps to promote your content and boost your site traffic. People sharing your links that you've shared on your Facebook business page, it exponentially expands on your audience and can result in more clicks to your website. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear it, but it's true. Customers will look for your company on social media, and many of them prefer to interact with you there on social media, on the Facebook. All right, so we're gonna move into SEO part 2. This is where stuff gets kind of interesting and complex, but again, bear with me. We'll have a chance for questions at the end, and I'm gonna try to explain everything so that it makes sense, hopefully. Search engine optimization, or SEO, helps you to get the Google love. All good SEO work happens over time and requires patience and a long-term commitment. Let's look at what will help you build quality organic traffic to your website. Organic traffic is the traffic that matters most when you're building your online presence. What this means is when people Google home inspection Asheville or home inspector Asheville, and they click on your website from those search results, those visitors and those clicks are considered organic traffic. Now, organic traffic is more meaningful than other types of traffic, because if Google is returning your website and people are clicking on it, then you're doing something right, because that's exactly what you want. It means that they submitted a query or a search for home inspection Asheville, and your very relevant and helpful website was returned in the results, and then they clicked on that link. So let's now talk about the difference between organic traffic and paid traffic. So organic traffic, again, is the term used to describe visits to a website coming from a search engine results page, or SERP. Good search engine optimization, or SEO, helps drive organic traffic to your site over time. So when users type in a search, they'll see a set of results. These results include the pages ranking on the top positions organically and a set of ads. And I'm sure everyone's seen this. They're denoted with the word ad. So someone running a good AdWords campaign is going to appear above you. And that's what differentiates those results from the organic results. Users are becoming more savvy about traffic and the search results, and will skip over the ads because they know that that position has been bought. The main difference between organic traffic and paid search traffic is that organic traffic is free while paid traffic is paid for. With SEO, you can get traffic for free 24/7, but it's not instant. It takes time for good SEO to work. It takes time for good SEO to generate results. With paid traffic, you might get faster results, but you will have to pay each time someone clicks on your ads and visits your website. It also can take a while to craft a really good campaign. So you could spend a few months paying for ads, but it's not working. It's not a great ad. So it's, again, more money out of pocket, and we don't like to spend money. We like free stuff. So organic, free. Another difference between organic and paid traffic, also referred to as SEM, or search engine marketing, is that once you stop the paid ads, the traffic to your website will drop. With organic traffic, you'll continue to get quality traffic for as long as you continue to deliver fresh and relevant original content to your users. So on-page or on-site SEO refers to the optimization techniques that are implemented on your website. So in other words, on-page SEO tailors the content of a website to appeal to both users and search engines alike. A lot of the SEO work on your site will be done in the back end, so it's not something that you'll see on the front end, but it's something that's necessary for the search engines to see and understand your website's content. Off-page or off-site SEO helps your domain establish authority in the eyes of search engines. Backlinks or link building, which is other reputable websites linking back to your website, is a good factor in improving your domain's authority. And a higher domain authority gives you more juice with Google. All right, so a little bit more about on-page. So this image shows search results for home inspection Las Vegas. In the enlarged listing for Kelleher Home Inspections, you'll see the SEO title showing Gary's company name, plus the keyword home inspections, plus his service area of Las Vegas. These descriptions and titles are set up on the back end of your website by your SEO company specifically for the search engine crawlers. The description below that, which is the meta description, clearly states concisely what his business does, the area that he serves, and how to contact him. Gary has been in HomeGauge's SEO Builder program since 2018, and his site is returned organically on page 1 of Google. Since we're talking about Google and Google runs the world, the most important citation or listing that you can have online is Google Business. Your name, address, and phone number, or NAP, should be identical in every online listing, even down to whether street is spelled out or street is abbreviated. Google places a lot of weight and values accurate information for its users. It will rank listings with any discrepancies lower than listings with information that matches across online directories. So basically, anywhere that your site is listed and people can find you, whether it's the Chamber of Commerce or Better Business Bureau, whatever it is, you want to make sure that those listings are exactly the same across the board. If you use HomeGauge software, you can set up a time-released message or a TRM that will automatically send an email to your customers asking for a review. Building your Google business reviews is one of the most impactful things that you can do to help your site appear in searches, and it's free. Next, we'll look at a couple examples of this. All right, what you're looking at here are the organic search results for 2 inspectors who are in our SEO Builder program. Lakeland Home Inspection built their first site with HomeGauge in 2017 and built a new site just last year in 2020. They are active on Facebook and diligent about asking for Google reviews. We currently have 177 of them, or at the time of this presentation. They might have more by now. Lakeland is the 3rd result returned in Google Maps and the first organic listing for Home Inspection Lakeland. The owner, Alex, has added 3 full-time inspectors to his team since 2017 and has also built another website and opened a 2nd location in Sarasota, Florida. The image on the right shows the results for Aztec Home Inspections, who built their first site with us in 2018 and launched a new website in March of this year. Mike regularly asks for reviews from his customers and is currently, at the time of this presentation, 158 5-star Google reviews. Aztec is the 3rd result returned in Google Maps and the 2nd organic listing for Home Inspection Harrisonburg. Blogging for SEO. Since, as you now know, content is king, it's important to add new content on a regular basis. What that does is it encourages search engines to crawl your site more frequently, which will help your SEO rankings over time. Blogs should have long tail keywords. What that is that means a few words that describe the content of the article in terms that someone would naturally search for. These are set by your SEO content producer on the back end of your website. We'll look at this a little bit more in depth on the following slides. Content should be relevant and engaging for users. In HomeGauge's SEO program, you'll see some home inspection related blogs mixed in with those geared towards homeowners and the community at large. We write and publish one custom blog each month for our inspectors in the program. So these 3 posts that you see here, the 5 spring home maintenance projects, the uses of drones in home inspections, and why you should order a home inspection on new construction. Of these 3 posts, 5 spring home maintenance projects outperformed the other 2. The keyword for this post is spring home maintenance projects. This drills it down to describing not only home maintenance, but projects that are completed in the spring. So while you'll see some home inspection blogs, the majority of blogs that we write will be community and homeowner related, since those blogs get the most traffic. And traffic is our goal. Of the blogs shown here, How to Declutter Your Home came in first with the most traffic. The reason that all of these posts work is because they help the user. While you might want to write about foundation cracks, people on social media are less likely to share that post. So while it's a good resource on your website, that is not an article that is going to generate clicks and visits to your website. Once someone's on there, sure, it's great. It's a great resource. Again, our goal is to get the traffic. So your audience is going to be more interested in things that can help them every day. And this is stuff like decluttering, how to boost curb appeal, and easy DIY projects to update your home. So case in point, we had an inspector request that we write his next blog on home ventilation. We advised that it would probably not be a winner on social media, and he still wanted to go ahead with it, so that was fine. So we wrote the blog per his request as part of his monthly content. On Facebook, so we have admin access to, if granted to us, we have admin access to our home inspectors Facebook pages, so we can look at this stuff in Facebook and in analytics. So on Facebook, the home ventilation blog received only 4 clicks from his audience. So that's 4 clicks. His top blogs to date were not about home inspections or home systems. They were about garage organization, which had 190 clicks, summer lawn maintenance, which had 215 clicks, and improve curb appeal, which is a super popular blog all the time, and it had 384 clicks. So keeping in mind that every click you get to your site is like scoring some Google points, it's really important that the content that you're putting out there, again, your website is for the user. I mean, it is for you because it's your business, but the content has to be geared towards the user for you to get the traffic that you need to gain and build your online presence. All right, we'll talk a little bit about Google Analytics. Don't forget to track your results. Google Analytics lets you track multiple metrics so that you can see traffic trends, popular pages, user experience, and device functionality. The main purpose of Google Analytics is to track website activity like session duration, pages per session, bounce rate, etc., along with the users on your site and the source of the traffic. So this is extremely valuable information that you will not know without Google Analytics. So next, we're going to take a look at some of that data. So the page here shows Google Analytics year-over-year data for a 6-month period. Both inspectors shown here are in HomeGauge's SEO Builder program and saw significant growth in both organic traffic and in conversions. So keep in mind, a conversion is any event where a user contacts the inspector from the website. The conversions shown above include telephone calls, contact forms, emails, texts. So year over year during a 6-month period, the inspector on the left saw conversions grow from 23 to 321. The inspector on the right saw conversions grow from 34 to 109. So every conversion is an opportunity to book an inspection with a customer who has contacted you directly from your website. These are significant increases. Once the contact is made, it's up to you to book the inspection. So we did our job to get the visitor through the funnel, and they responded to a call to action or CTA on your website. So nice work, just book the inspection. Remembering that the most meaningful traffic for SEO is organic traffic, that is shown here in the green slice. So the green little piece of pie, that's your organic traffic. Both of these inspectors saw great growth in this channel. So Brian on the left saw a 272% increase in his organic traffic in a 6-month period of 1 year compared to the previous year. The inspector on the right, Jason, saw 130% growth in organic traffic year over year. Because organic traffic is the most meaningful traffic and the one most likely to result in conversions, the data showing here supports that. They get more organic traffic, they get more conversions. So organic traffic is everything, and it's going to help you with SEO, it's going to help you with conversions, it's going to help you book inspections and be successful. The inspector on the left has been with us for 18 months, and the inspector on the right has been with us for 30 months. So markets and service areas vary widely, as do the offsite efforts SEO efforts that are put forth by each inspector. It will be obviously easier to rank in a small town like Mars Hill, North Carolina, where there might be 2 home inspectors, versus a market like Houston, where there are thousands. And those are just the facts. So the work that HomeGauge does on your website, we do the same work for every single inspector in the program. So no one gets like extra help. So we're doing the exact same thing. We're doing the same on-site SEO. We're doing the same publishing, original content, 1 blog per month. Our efforts are exactly the same. So your efforts and what you put into this is really going to help support the work that we're doing. So while it's easier to rank in a small town than a large area, it's certainly possible to do so. And the larger your market, the more competitive your market, the more important it is that you are doing all you can to bring your site some attention. Good SEO will give you good results long term. So this chart pretty much sums up this presentation. I have some more slides, but building organic traffic, in a nutshell, building organic traffic will boost your site conversions and will help your SEO so that you can book more inspections. So takeaways, recap, build or update your website. If you currently have a website with HomeGauge and it's older than 3 years, you should really consider taking a look at that. And we do offer audits, free audits. So if you would like a free audit on your website, you can email webteam@homegauge.com and we will send one for you. Start doing SEO or hire someone to do it for you. I recommend hiring someone to do it for you. Between these two presentations, there's quite a bit of technical information to know, and I'm not going to inspect my own home. So I certainly wouldn't, want you to do your own SEO. So hire someone that you trust to do it for you. HomeGauge would love to help you, but there are certainly other, local agencies. But what's important is that you have a great website and you do SEO. Set up or update your Google business page. That is really important. And one of the big takeaways from this is that you have to have that. Start blogging, and share and boost your posts. Ask for reviews. Reviews, especially Google reviews, are everything. They really are. I know I say all of this is everything, but it's kind of true. All of these things are very important, but Google business is essential. You have to have a Google business listing, and reviews are free. You just have to ask for them. So get those reviews and set up your social media accounts. Start engaging with people, network in your community, make connections. All right, this image shows one of our responsive websites. I chose to share this because sometimes I know visuals are easier for people to understand. So you'll see that this website and that it shows properly across different devices. So the design and the content is coded to rearrange essentially to fit the screen that it's being viewed on and display correctly for any viewer on a smartphone, a tablet, a desktop, or a laptop. Considering that most people now are on their phones looking for stuff or a tablet, it is absolutely critical that your site is responsive. If it loads and there are these design elements that are overlapping, or you can't clearly see, a navigation menu or how to click a button, that's going to impact your bounce rate because people will leave your site. They're like, this is a hot mess. I can't even figure out what's happening here. So that's just an example of one of our sample sites showing beautifully on all these devices. So whether you use HomeGauge or not, the web services team will build a new website for you. We do have several hosted sites that are not HomeGauge software users, but they do host and do SEO with us. You can view our sample websites at homegauge.com. If you choose to work with us on your new website, you'll have a dedicated, experienced, and friendly project manager that can walk you through the process every single step. You'll get content written specifically for you, original from a professional content writer, and high quality stock images, and it'll be branded to match your business, and it will be beautiful. Once your new website launches, you can opt into one of our hosting or SEO plans. Our SEO and hosting team has 6 people who are dedicated, myself included, to helping you build your online presence. And if you watch this session and you're interested in stuff, these are the specials for HomeGauge Together 2021. So it's basically $100 off each of our packages. You can get a standalone website. You can get a real sweet deal for a website and SEO, and an also pretty sweet deal for a website and a year of managed hosting. So I came in under again. So I have time for questions. If there are any, I'm happy to answer them because I'm all done. So I'm assuming there's no questions.
Hi, Carla. I see a question from
Oh,
Dennis.
okay. I was like, have I been on mute this whole time? I was like, did I just do that whole presentation and no one could hear me? I'm like, what's going on? Okay.
Yeah. Dennis asks, how much time does the average website take to develop?
It depends on how many we have in the queue. Right now, we're looking at 6 to 8 weeks, and that's from the time you purchase and through to launch.
Carla, then Deanna asks, is there free content that we can post to Facebook on HomeGauge?
If I understand it, I mean, you can share anything on Facebook from anywhere. So if there was a helpful article like in our resources center, maybe for home buyers or something like that, you can absolutely share that link on Facebook. That's going to give us traffic. So sure, do that. You can certainly do that. You know, what's best to share on Facebook is something that is going to get a link, you know, a click back to your site. So if the question is, do we have like free articles that you can share or post on your site? The answer to that would be no, because that would be duplicate content if we allowed you to do that. But you can share a link from anywhere, you know, whether it's HGTV or something about, you know, real estate, or you can share absolutely anything on your timeline. It's just that link is going to go to send traffic to the original site, not to yours. But it's still very good to do. I mean, you should certainly still post stuff that's interesting, even if you're not necessarily going to benefit from traffic, because you'll benefit from the activity and people knowing that you're active and showing that the lights are on.
A couple more questions coming in. Give me just a second.
Sure.
So Deanna also asks, what is the average time the new website is built that you will begin to see higher rankings on Google?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Honestly, it could be anywhere from a year to 6 years. I mean, it really just depends on your market. You know, if you're in a smaller market, it's a lot easier. There are so many different factors. To give you an idea of SEO, so the agencies I've worked at before, we required people to sign a minimum 3-year contract with us because we knew that that would likely be when they would start seeing actual results. So it's not ever instantaneous. If you're in a smaller market and you're networking like crazy in the community and your SEO is being done on your website and you're active on social media, you could, within a year, you know, see yourself on page 1 of Google because you have very little competition and you have, you know, maximized what you need to do to, you know, get that return and build your online presence. These saturated markets, these bigger markets, you know, like San Diego, Houston, New York, Tampa, places like that, it can be really, really difficult to rank. And, you know, that's why some people choose to do AdWords and paid ads, just to give themselves that, what it is, a temporary boost. But that temporary boost, if it does result in booking some inspections and then you can start getting referrals because people have used you, then, you know, that could certainly be something to consider depending on the market that you're in and what you have to work with. So there are lots and lots of different factors. Another one is how old your domain name is. So if you were to buy a domain name today, start building a website, launch it in 6 weeks, your domain authority is going to be zero. Domain authority, you start at 0. So that's not, I mean, it's not like it's your fault it's a 0, but you start at 0. So it takes some time to build that up. So if you have an established domain name, say you've owned your domain name for 10 years, then just by owning it for 10 years, it's going to have more authority than that. If you have an active site that's been in place for that long, you're going to have a pretty decent domain authority. So there's a bunch of different factors. Obviously, I could probably talk about those all day long, but those are the main ones right there.
Okay, a couple more questions. Is there a difference when having links to articles not written by you, assuming HomeGauge, rather than original content you write on social media?
Can you repeat that again? I'm not sure I
Yeah.
followed.
Is there a difference when having links to articles rather than original content you write on social media? So I think the question is links to articles written by other people versus original content written by you as an inspector, or does that make sense?
I mean, kind of. So on social media, you want to be active on social media. You certainly don't have to share just links to your articles. It's good to do so and to have that be some of the links, because that's what's going to get traffic back to your website. So it's the content, the original content on your site that you're sharing, and then getting the links and the clicks back to you, that is going to help your SEO. However, staying active on social media is going to include sometimes, sharing other people's links. And so that shows activity on your social media page, which shows that you're, active in doing that. And it's not just this dead, sad, page that no one ever is on. I'm not sure if that answered it, but I hope it did.
Jamie, chime in if there's more to that question that you'd like us to answer, please. Carla, she said, all good. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
you're welcome.
Jamie. Any last questions? All right, Carla. Well, that was an awesome presentation. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for attending. And if you have any questions or think about stuff after the fact, you can always give us a call give web services a call, or send us an email, and we're happy to help you out and answer them. And look forward to chatting with all of you.
And just as a compliment, Border Home Inspections has made 2 comments about if anyone's on the fence about a new website, I would recommend it. And also that it's hard to tell how much business increases due to a website, but I will say I have been impressed with my results.
Yay.
So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us on this Saturday. And if you missed yesterday's, I'm pretty sure that these are being recorded and will be posted, right, Sarah?
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Carla.
All right, thanks. Have a great day, guys.